What's going on, people? Welcome to Live Palace News. Sorry about the delay. He was meant to join us. I don't know where he is. I guess something just popped up last minute, but we are here. And today, honestly, there's a lot to talk about. As you can see from the title, Oliver Glasner update, potentially new deal, the replacements, and new names being mentioned finally, rather than usual. What's going to be happening with Villagen and more. As always, if you do enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe. You already know how it goes, people. And let us know, most importantly, your thoughts in the live comment section. England are playing tonight as well. There's a lot going on in the next hour or so. The lineups are out. Gahey starting, of course. Unfortunately, Eze and the other Palace boys will not be playing. Well, Eze's been coming off the bench, so maybe he comes on. There's a lot of hype for Euros, for Palace. Drama. I'm seeing drama. There's a lot of people being upset over the replacement. Is Kamada the replacement or not? There's a lot to talk about. There's genuinely a lot to talk about today. But how's everyone doing? Already it's starting in chat. People talking about Kamada. Is he not at least his replacement? And there's a comment here saying no, he's not. Well, look, we'll get into that. We'll get into that bit of news. But look, today, people, it's only right that we start with the man in charge, and that is Oliver Glasner. So according to Graham Bailey, Crystal Palace are considering a new deal for Oliver Glasner, a new long-term deal, having rejected an approach from Bayern Munich in the summer. Now, what do you think about this? Let me know in the comment section. For me, I think it makes sense, 100%. Of course, Patrick said this to me as well when we were doing the Elise reaction when he actually was confirmed that he left the club. What would be a bigger miss if Oliver Glasner joined Bayern Munich or Michael Elise? And when you put it into perspective like that, you have to remember that the reason why some of these players have been playing at the level is because of the main man at the top, and that is Oliver Glasner. So, he hasn't been at the football club for a long time, but there has already been interest there from Bayern Munich, and thankfully Vincent Kompany's gone there and that deal got rejected. But down the line, there could be other clubs that could be knocking on his door. Now, would this new long-term deal have a release clause? I'm not too sure. I'm getting tired of release clauses, but then again, they are important, especially to make sure that these quality talent, I'll say talent because, Oliver Glasner is a very talented manager, not just only players. One of the reasons to keep them at a football club, or one of the ways to keep them at a football club, is by letting them sign a release clause. Now, there's no suggestion of that in the article, but I think Glasner has kind of proven himself. He had a decent spell. I mean, when he first joined us, remember, we were fighting relegation, and the amount of games that we won, the amount of play improvement. So, I would be happy 100% with him getting a new deal. But whether he would want to sign it, only time will tell. But it's good. It's good. It shows intent, especially, coming from England, saying it shows intent and he isn't signing if the board don't back him, which they will, as he's a winner. They have to back him. It feels maybe like a long time ago, but it wasn't that long ago where there were banners actually at games where it was crazy toxic. And I said it at the time as well, getting Glasner in, fantastic move forward. But this summer window, for me personally anyways, is important to see what the board are doing differently. And I'm not saying so far they haven't done a good job. I think they've done a very good job. And we'll talk about Kamada if the comments want us to talk about Kamada. But I think Kamada's been a fantastic signing, first of all, to start with. So I think we started the window well. But there is a lot of things to prove to not only to the fans about the ambition, but also to the manager. And it shows intent. And if Glasner signs, then he's on board with the project, which he won't do because we've seen in his previous clubs. He won't sign just for the sake of signing a new deal. Engin also adding, apart from Elise, everyone is the same, and we have strength, and plus we have Decore back. Yeah, Decore. We haven't seen Decore under Glasner. Decore and Wharton is going to be fantastic. And that's the thing. When it comes down to panic, we'll talk about rumours as well. But whilst we're on the subject about intent, having players on board, look, not much a change at Palace. I know Elise leaving is massive. It is. I mean, we won't be able to replace Elise directly, but we still have improved areas of the squad. It's not finished, but centre backs with Riyadh being there, I think that is now sorted. And on the left side, with Mitchell needing depth, Sessegnon, it seems more likely. Might as well drop it here. We weren't going to talk about him as much, but it seems like we are still going over. You're going after Ryan Sessegnon. He's still training with the first team. So if we sign him, down the left-hand side, the depth is sorted there. You know, and Decore coming back, I don't think we need that many players in the first place. And I don't think there is a panic at Palace. It's still early. What's the date? 10th of July. We still got more than, nearly basically 2 months of the window left. Less than 2 months, but still a large chunk of the window left. So I know a lot of people want to panic. Elise is left. Oh, Eze release clause. Gay doesn't want to sign a new deal. I mean, that report, by the way, another thing, might as well get out of the way. We weren't going to talk about today. Gay not signing a new deal and being linked with Arsenal, who are literally on the verge of signing a centre back and who have very good 2 starting centre backs. And Gay, if he's leaving, is going to be starting somewhere. Doesn't make sense. Man United, fair enough. Maybe there might be a bit of logic behind that. Oh, Man United might be interested because they are after centres. Then again, they're after Euro and Brownwave, who. Gay hasn't been mentioned. So, there is this panic created. We don't know. I don't think the contract talks have started. Gay is still at the Euro. So this news about Gay not wanting to sign a new deal, it was a shock. It was like, where are we getting this from? Because, he's still playing for the Euros. He's literally about to play for England in the semi-finals. I doubt there's any contract talks going on right now. But even if he didn't want to sign a new deal, we move on. It's not the end of the world. And if I would be open to selling Gay this window, I would. I think he's 100% our best defender. But if the price was right, around 70 to 80 million pound, if anyone wants to pay that, I would be happy with that. I'd be happy with selling Gay and reinvesting that back into the squad. Eze is another worry. We can't just live in anxiety and worry. All these players are going to be linked. We spoke about this at the end of last season as well. Glasner was another one that was linked with a move away. This report suggesting that Palace might be offering them a new long-term deal is positive, and we want to head in that direction. So yeah, I know naturally it's right for us to panic. Oh, this is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But let's just see how it goes. By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, hit the like button, people. I'll be going through the comments right now, and then we'll go through other news. There's a few other news to go through today as well before the game actually starts. And we're saying, yeah, but it needing young players for depth doesn't make them Elise's replacement. Elise's star. I guess people are still debating about Elise. Larkin saying replacing a talent like Elise will not be easy. One-on-one, getting deeper as a club in general and having a great manager is the way forward. And yeah, that's why I guess we want to make sure Glasner signs a new long-term contract at the football club. We've already seen a good bond developing between Daichi and JP. Yep, Daichi's appeared, which is positive as well this week. He's had his interview as well with the football club, saying positive things, saying things that I want to hear as a fan about European football, about cup competitions, about him being on the same wavelength as Oliver Glasner and saying that they want to target these competitions. Nothing has drastically changed. We are still ambitious at the top. It's just that we have to back it in this market, and we don't have to do that much business, in all honesty. So we don't need to panic just yet. Saying Palace will bring in quality once again. Animal saying Kamada is a great sign and shouldn't be undervalued. We're lucky we have Glasner, or that deal doesn't happen. Let's bring on T. My man. Good?
Good, man. Good. Had some technical difficulties, but I'm good now.
No, that's good. We just started off with the Oliver Glasner potentially being offered a new deal at the football club, a new long-term deal after refusing that Bayern Munich job. My thoughts were simple. Like he's kind of proven himself. He's proven that the players like work for him. The fact that he has exciting football, I'm not against that. There was already interest from him. He's a quality manager that's already won.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we said earlier about when we were giving Dougie a new deal. You know what I mean? Like securing those two in place, securing Dougie, securing Glasner. Like those are huge moves that a lot of people would say will probably be some of the most important moves of the window, period. Because you can bring in all the players you want to, but if you don't have the structure with the scouting and recruiting of the right type of players and the actual managerial person in place that's going to implement the style of play and all that, nothing else really matters. So getting him a new deal secured for the long term is great.
Yeah. And look, Dougie sorted. If we get Glasner sorted as well, we're just heading in the right direction. You know, these are small
Absolutely.
things that just need to be sorted. And I mean, as I was talking about, it went a bit off topic about on the show, but you know, there's this panic settling. But you know, we kept Dougie Friedman, and let's see what he does. I've been heavily critical of the board. I have, and I've still said it. You know, this window is a chance for them to prove themselves. I know last year was a shambles. Glasner, you know, step in the right direction. We'll see what we do in this window, but it's still, you know, a long time for us to sign these players. So I'm not going to be panicking and saying, oh, you know, we're down in the mud. Olise is a fantastic player. Yes, he's left, but Kamada is a fantastic replacement as well, which I think people will realize how good he is once he starts playing games. This free transfer business has kind of maybe put down expectation on him. I don't know why. I think it's just a great bit of business rather than a player, because the concept with free transfers is, oh, players coming from free transfer. There must be a reason for that, right? But this is just a quality player that his contract has run out. Is a fantastic opportunity rather than us being cheap on a deal, just like the Lerman deal.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are kind of like overlooking it. You know what I'm saying? I think the fact that he's come in as a free player has kind of it's gone very under the radar. I think, you know, like we got so many people talking about, oh, we still need to replace Elise, and we need to get a replacement. I understand where they're coming from with that, but we're in a position with signing a guy like Kamada where the immediate need for a player that can step in right now and play right now and do it, or the ideal replacement isn't necessarily needed right now. So with having somebody like Kamada already through the doors, already signed, it allows us to then put that Elise money towards another player like Elise was. We can go out and get a guy who may not be ready for the Premier League right now, but is going to be super, super talented, that we can develop, and then he can come along in the next year or two and then make the jump like Elise did. So with having someone like Kamada there, a high-level player, as compared to, and I'm not knocking somebody like Ayu or Jeff Schlupp, but it's levels to this. It's different having somebody like Kamada there ready to go and start compared to a Jeffrey Schlupp. You know what I mean? So I think it just gets overlooked, man. The fact that he was free for us, like, I think that could end up being some of the best business that we've done in this window.
Yeah. I think when it comes down to it, I know some may be scared about this, but we've already replaced Elise without maybe meaning to. And I think Kamada is that replacement. I don't think Kamada is going to be sitting on the bench. All the names that's been mentioned, maybe Sule, but then again, I don't think we'll be getting Sule. So because of the price tag, he might have been one to contend Kamada for that starting spot. But Kamada already, I mean, when we were talking about signing him, we were talking about what an excellent player to have on the bench. And he knows Glasner's system. Glasner knows him. He's experienced. And I'll be honest, people, I think he's starting. He was going to start the season anyways, even if Elise said at the football club due to the Olympics. So now I think whoever we sign will be behind Kamada. And I think that is a reason why, even when you look at Jaden Philligan, I think that is the reason why that deal, we'll give an update on that as well, is taking a bit longer and he's having more of a think about it rather than joining Palace, because I don't think we can guarantee that starting spot. That starting spot has now changed. That's just naturally going to Kamada now. I think that's the case. And whoever's going to be, as you said, an understudy behind Kamada, whoever joins is going to be having that role as a youngster. And that's not a bad thing. Kamada is good. He's a good player. He's a very good player to have. And we realize that. So, you know, all of these youngsters that's being linked, let's see what exactly happens. But let's move on to the next bit of rumors, and we'll go through comments and questions. If you're enjoying the stream, like people, subscribe if you're new here to Norman Sound future Palace content. So there were also an update today from the Palace Ways suggesting that Palace have identified Emil Smith-Rowe and James McTee as a potential attacking signings. Preliminary talks have taken place already with Emil Smith-Rowe's representatives, but no further action taken. I really rate Smith-Rowe, and I think we are going to slowly move on from our usual names that's been mentioned to you. But also another player, James McTee, as well from Man City. another youngster that's been mentioned. For you, would you be interested as them being behind Kamada or pushing Kamada as another player option to replace Elise?
I mean, I'd be interested in it. I think the big piece is the price tag, especially with somebody like Emil Smith Rowe. I think with what you just talked about, how they approached his representatives, but not much has come of it yet. And I think that could be because of the price that Arsenal's asking for Emil Smith Rowe. I mean, I've seen reports that say it's between 30 and 35 million pounds. And if that's the case, I don't think we want to spend that type of money. Um, as much as you and I like him and know that he has the quality, the ability, he's from South London. I think he's from Croydon, actually.
Yeah, it's from Croydon,
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many things that do line up, and the reason why you would be interested in a guy like that. But I think it's more down to who he's playing for and who owns him at this point and what they want for him. It's kind of similar to all those different transfer windows where we were linked with Eddie Nketiah, and it's like, yeah, he's a talented player, but for 35 million, it's for 35 million for a guy who hasn't really been playing. I don't see it happening right now.
Yeah, he's highly rated on my radar. But as you said, I think if we're spending that kind of money, then we might as well spend it on Sule.
Right.
So, and that's been a problem with Sule anyways. I don't think we want to spend that kind of money because, as I said, if you're just joining now, I think Kamada will be the starting player. So it's about finding a player behind Kamada. And that is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Maybe if we didn't sign Kamada, then things may be a bit different and we might be willing to spend that kind of money. But with our approach of sending these players for low price and sending them on for profit, I mean, 30 million is risky in terms of how much profit can you get on a 30 million pound player. If you can flip him into a 60 million pound player, then that's great. But of course, the higher you pay, the more risky it gets.
Yep.
A lot of people talking about McT as well as a player that they love. What about you?
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of him. Let me be quite honest. But from what I've heard, coming up through Man City's youth setup, he was a really, really coveted and really high level player. It sounds like from a lot of the reports, it would be a loan move for us. And if it was a loan move, I'd be fine with that as long as we have some type of option or clause in there that we can make it permanent. I mean, I'm still on the wave of we're not developing anybody's players. So if we were to bring him into the fold, I hope that it would come with some type of way to make it permanent.
Yeah, I agree as well. Let's move on to, whilst we're on the wingers, might as well go on to what else the Palace Wave have reported, and that is on Jadon Philogene. He's saying that Palace are comfortable letting Philogene move elsewhere. He was considered a viable option to bolster the attacking ranks, but not a priority. Nusa, funny enough, has been Palace's first choice for a number of months. I think that's the significant part of it. Nusa and his price tag, even when the reports first came out, is realistic in terms of what Palace might be willing to pay for. And also the chance of getting him as well, because it seems like it's mainly just Palace really after him. I know he's failed his medical in January with Brentford, but I'm not surprised about Philogene not being that stressed over him, because I've got them, it feels like we're just seeing how it plays out. It doesn't seem like we're really pushing for him. We kind of put on an offer, and if he doesn't select us, he doesn't select us.
Yeah, I think we're just in a good position, and that kind of shows how we're moving. We're not in a position. We're not pressed to try and go all out or go beyond our means on any one guy, which is really important. I think compared to years past, we have a lot of options in terms of who we're scouting and who we have a good idea about. So it's like, hey, if we go in for something that doesn't work out, that's fine, because we have other options that we understand, that we have, that we know, or in this situation that's like being reported, the ones that we are prioritizing more in this situation too. So at least it's good to know on our end that if it doesn't happen, that there are other viable options that we're considering, that we've done our due diligence on already.
Yeah. And I look, Nusa, let's see what happens with that. But I reckon we'll push for him. We will. But then again, I don't know when, I don't know how. But it just the price tag out of all the players, just and the interest and everything around it, just for me, anyways, not based on any information, but just in general, I do think that we will go for Nusa. Let's see. Maybe then talks are even happening right now.
Player, so I don't see why we wouldn't.
Yeah, and remember, he'll be behind Kamada. So whoever we get, there won't. I'll be shocked if Kamada ends up on the bench. I think Kamada starts the season. He's got too much experience and quality to be sitting on the bench.
Too much experience, too much quality, too much familiarity with our system already. He doesn't he doesn't have a learning curve. Like the only learning curve that he's really going to have is just the guys that he's playing with and getting used to, them as individual players. But as far as the system itself and what we're looking to do and things like that, probably, the attacking phases and the passages of play, he knows all those things already.
Yeah. By the way, if you have any questions, people, put a Q and a dot before it. If you're enjoying the stream, if you can hit the like button, takes a second of your time. It helps the algorithm, helps us grow the channel for more and better content, which is along the way. That would be much appreciated. Thank to every single one of you that's already done that. Now, let's talk about a player that we haven't spoke about yet on the channel this summer, and it is a winger. And according to Kicker Bundesliga, who I believe they got very good following on Twitter /X, whatever you call it. He's got interest from Palace, Stuttgart, West Ham, and Fulham. It's believed Hoffenheim would want £7 million for the player. He can play down the left as well as down the right. It seems a kind of similar case to maybe Nusa, you might say, in terms of versatile winger. So T, I don't know if you know much about him.
You didn't say his name yet.
I did. Jacob.
So you didn't say Jacob Brun Larson.
Did I not?
No, you described him to a T, but you just never said his name.
No, chat. Did I not say his name? I did. I said
Chat,
Jacob.
I don't think you said the name. I don't think he said the name, Chad. I think he just described him to a T, but forgot to say his name.
Did I? I thought I did. Okay, Jacob Brun Larson. I might have just skimmed over it. I said it in my head. But yeah, that is the player. That's a player from Hoffenheim, Jacob Brun Larsen, who's also a Danish international. I think he only had one appearance in Euros for Denmark. But Anderson knows him. Do you know him?
I know a little bit about him. Yeah, I've watched him a little bit during this time. I watched him a little bit in the Euros. But no, I think this is a really quality move too, as far as the value side of it. Compared to a lot of the guys that we're already looking at, he's on the older side. I think Brun Larsen's already 25. I want to say.
25, yeah.
But I mean, that's still a quality move. You're getting a really good player, a full international for less than 10 million. It's a really good move. Now, I think the thing is, I think it goes one of two ways, D. I think it could either be this is the talk that we've seen about possibly bringing in two guys rather than one after losing Elise. So you may bring in a value play like a Brun Larsen and then maybe a more expensive play like Nusa together.
Hold on, let me stop you there. Two guys, including Kamada or excluding Kamada? Because
there have been reports. There have been reports saying that since we've lost Elise, that we may use some of that money to bring in two attacking players.
Do we need two? Now, we don't need two.
I don't think we need to. I
think maybe there might be a bit of a misunderstanding. I think it might be two players to replace Elise, but I think Kamada might already be the one.
Yeah, I don't know. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. But I guess what I was alluding to is it could be if it is the two guys, then maybe it's a less expensive guy like a Brun Larsen, and then someone like a Nusa, because maybe it's just forward planning, because eventually we're probably going to lose Ebbs. So if we end up losing Ebbs, then you have Kamada on the opposite side along with França, and then the two guys that we pick up, the Brun Larsen.
Potentially.
Or it could just be the fact that on the level of like you said, like our checklist, maybe Nusa's at the top of it. and maybe Broom Larson's in there in the case that we can't get a Nusa. So then you make a more value play for a guy like Broom Larson, have him come in, be squad depth to Kamada, possibly.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat what you think. Do you think that we need to maybe bring in 2 players to replace Elise? I think Kamada's one, and then you bring in one more. And for that, I mean, Jess probably goes out on loan. IU still an option there as well, but ideally you want IU to be like the third option, not second or first, especially if you want to push for European spots realistically. So yeah, I look, is a player that hasn't been mentioned. Maybe we hear a few more, but it doesn't surprise me. I think we are working behind the scenes on players.
He also had he's a Premier League guy. He played for Burnley.
He played for Burnley, yeah.
And he had like 7 goals. Like,
yeah, yeah. I don't know if he had 7 goals, but he did play for Burnley. No, I know that.
I looked at. I saw the stats on it. Let me look him up real quick. I think it might have been.
So yeah, so there might have been a bit of scouting there already when he was at Burnley. 7 million cheap as well.
I mean, they've seen him. They've probably seen him up close and personal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whilst you're looking at that, I'm gonna quickly. There's a report on Sule. I'll quickly mention it, but it's nothing new. Palace, West Ham, Aston Villa, and Leicester have all offered for Sule, but it's lower than the 30 to 35 million euros wanted by Juventus. Juve are ready to let him go, but only for the fee wanted, and that is according to Nick Semaro. But I mean, loads of people report that as well. Sule, I think it's too expensive for us. Nothing new there. But also, whilst you're looking at that, Edward, I think it was Fabrizio Romano who actually reported on Edward, saying that there is lots of interest in him. Funny enough, that we've seen any interest.
So I found it. 6 goals, 32 appearances for Burnley, 6 goals, 8 appearances on the left wing, 8 appearances on the right wing, 3 at left midfield, one at right midfield, and 2 appearances at center forward. So he is extremely versatile, and of his 6 goals, they've come between right wing and left wing. So he scored on both sides of the pitch.
Yeah, well, I knew that he could play left and right, but the 6 goals, I'll be honest, I didn't catch that part. I knew that he played for Burnley. So was that 6 goals in the Prem?
6 goals in the Prem. 6 goals in the Prem, and he had 1 goal in the EFL Cup. Or 6 goals in the Prem, so 7 total. Yep.
Well, £7 million.
7 somewhere.
£7 million. That is nothing. Like, that is nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
But we have to understand, we're not buying him from Burnley. We're buying him from Hoffenheim, who is a small German club who probably need the money. Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time it's been mentioned. There are other Premier League clubs also after him, but yeah, it might be a shout. It might be one that goes under the radar. £1 million a goal, exactly. Which is not bad. In today's market when players
are bad at all.
Crazy overvalued. And I mean, if we did want to sell him on, which I think we still can. He's 25 years old. It's not like he's 30. I mean, the opportunity is there to make a profit.
2 years when he's 27, you could probably get some decent money for him.
Exactly. We should be able to make profit on him as well. So it makes sense. Age-wise, maybe he could be a bit younger. But we don't need 2 wingers. That's what I think as well. And we're saying, why do we need 2 wingers? We have Kamada and Eze playing the 2 10s. We have wing backs playing the width. Then France suggests everywhere. We still got Ayew and Schlupp. I don't know about Ayew and Schlupp.
Well, yeah, there's 2 off the list right there. Ebuwe and Jez probably aren't considered Premier League quality at this point. So there's another. That's 4 guys. That's 4 of the guys just mentioned off the list.
Yeah, we got France down the left. We need someone to back Kamada down the right, and then you can have players like Ayew and Schlupp. By the way, I don't think it's even considered. But we still need 1 more. We need 1 more that could actually provide some quality depth, and I think that's what we're after right now. So it's a new name, and there's probably other names that we haven't heard about that's going on behind the scenes as well. There's no way it's just the players that's being out there. Palace are pretty much tied with the news. They're not going to just spread the news all around the place, especially now that we got the Elise money. They don't want to be, they want to be as quiet as possible. Even the Elise money, there's some saying that might even be lower then reported due to the fact that Palace want to make sure that other clubs don't realize that they have the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Palace are smart when it comes to stuff like that. So let's see what happens.
That was
Jonathan Rowe,
genius of us, by the way.
what was
We were
that?
able to keep that down. Like we actually got more money from him, but we were able to make it seem like we got less. That's
Yeah,
genius.
well, exactly. Yeah, maybe that is the case. If that's the case, I'm a happy man. But
Yeah.
45 million does seem a bit low. Jonathan Rowe,
Quality player. Quality player. I was
not linked with
I
him,
was
right? I haven't
I
seen
was a
it.
really big Jonathan Rowe fan all season long. I think he did have some injury problems with his hamstring that kept him out for a good amount of time. But I think the thing that makes him really intriguing is the fact that he's 2-footed.
I
So he
wonder
can
if
play on the left, he can
Arsenal's
play
too
on the
far as
right.
well. You did say he scored goals down the left, down the right as well.
Yep.
Might be the case. But even if he's not 2 foot, he knows how to score a goal regardless where he's on the pitch, which is good, especially in the Premier League as well.
Yep.
Premier League goals that we're talking about. But yeah. D, how do you feel about Turkey getting knocked out? Personally, they had a great run. Had a bunch of entertaining games this tournament. Yeah, I mean, it was sad, but I'm proud. I'm not. It wasn't even that sad. I mean, we had a great run, and
They did what a lot of people didn't expect them to do.
yeah. There's a lot of positives in that run to look forward to in further tournaments. It's still a very young squad. I think we've got the youngest squad in the whole of Euros. So I mean, there's a lot to look forward to.
Bright future for them for sure.
Exactly. And today, England, Netherlands. I mentioned that at the start of the show. Gahey is starting. What do you think about that? England should be beating Netherlands. From what I saw from Netherlands against Turkey, England should be. I think both sides haven't played great football like that.
I really can't say, to be honest with you, because the Netherlands have played much better football than England have, if I'm being quite honest with you. I mean, that's just the truth.
The level of football that
Their
England's
level of
played is
play
not being up there.
is
So yeah, I don't
like,
think they might play better, but not that much better. I don't think they've been that great in Netherlands.
I mean, Cody Gakpo is playing amazing right now for them.
Yes, but Weghorst was the one that changed the game last game around.
Yeah, I mean, but that's as a team. You know what I'm saying? You got guys that are coming in making difference, like as a team. I mean, I'm interested to see this match. I think it's going to be a really good match, for sure. But I mean, neither of them are playing as well as Spain.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'll be shocked if Spain doesn't win it. Like, I'll be shocked. I think Spain is just clear. I mean, Spain versus Germany were two of the best teams to play each other.
And Spain's doing it without a legit dominant number 9.
Spain's got they're just well drilled, man.
They've got Alvaro Morata out there every game.
Yeah, you got Jesus Navas playing right back. But I mean, if you're facing a France side, who you should have attacking outlet, but they don't. They haven't proven themselves in the tournament. Scoring how many goals open play? 1 goal open play. It makes it easy.
Goal.
Exactly, it makes it easy. I think Spain are the favorites from here onwards, regardless of what happens today. But I mean, England versus Netherlands should be a good game as well, because I don't think both teams. I know what you mean about Netherlands, but me personally, I don't think both teams have been performing at the levels. So I think it's very hard to call. Very hard to call. England got a very good chance to go to the finals today, from what I've seen. Now. Let's see. Oh yeah, because you mentioned that as well. Let's go through some of the questions. Spiritual saying, I see a lot of Palace fans that want Asperella, but is he better than Raksaki?
Yes, 100%.
You're heavy on him, aren't you,
bro? I'm trying to tell you, man.
To manifest that.
That man,
I see it every single day.
A hooper. He is a hooper. Jez Raksaki hasn't even played at the championship level yet and shown he can do it.
Do you know how much they want for him?
Man, they don't want a whole lot. Do
you actually know the price tag on that?
The prices I've seen are like 12 and 15.
I wonder why we're not linked then.
I have no idea, but that dude can hoop. Man, he's of all the guys that I've watched, and this ain't highlights, this is actual game footage, watching full games of these guys. Asprilla is the closest one to Elise's skill set. Point blank, period. He's left-footed. amazing passer. The weight on his passes is unreal. He's a fantastic ball striker. He's quick. He does a really good job, probably maybe even better job than Elise did with not getting knocked off the ball. He's really good with maintaining his balance and keeping guys off of him, even with a slender frame.
Let's see. Do you guys remember that West Brom guy who scored a hat-trick against Chelsea? I don't. West Brom guy that scored a hat-trick against Chelsea. What year? When? I don't know. I can't remember a West Brom player scoring a hat-trick against Chelsea.
Me either. Sheesh.
Why are we going for him? He's 50.
I'm going to say,
his dad played for Newcastle. I don't know if you know that, T. Do you know that?
Say what?
His dad played for Newcastle.
Asprilla, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His dad's like a legend, bro.
Is he part of the Copa America squad?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
so Munoz, Loma. If Dougie wants him,
he'll be on the right side. He'll be on the right side with Munoz.
Exactly. They got a connection already. Does he start for them?
Yeah, he subs. He subs for him. It's Matias Pereira. It's who they're talking. Who they're wondering about. Matias Pereira had a hat trick against Chelsea.
Okay. But yeah, I don't know what about him.
He plays. I think he's back in. He might be back in Brazil now. He was in Saudi Arabia for a while. But
yeah. Spiritual disagrees. He's saying I've been following him for a long time. He's still very raw.
Yeah, but that's what we're looking for. I mean, he's got ability out the wazoo. And yes, he's raw. When we brought in Elise, what was Elise? Raw. But we got somebody like Dicey Kamada in place to where Asprilla can then come along at the pace that he needs to. But I mean, he's played in England, so he's already playing English football. He's playing at the national level at the highest level, so he's playing against high-level competition globally too. So I think he'll be able to come along pretty quickly compared to possibly some of the other guys we're looking at that haven't played in this country, that haven't played at certain levels against certain certain competition. So,
yep. Let's see. Well, look, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. If you just joined us now, make sure to go to the start of the show. We're talking about everything from manager to players coming in, different positions as well, different players, new players that haven't been mentioned before. So make sure to check that out. If you have enjoyed this, like, subscribe before you leave. That's it from me, Auntie. And until next time, up the palace.
Up the palace.